Cool. Oh, I love it. Alright, this is Gabi with the Nomadic Family, and we're here with Fiona and her cool tripod. You can't see the tripod, but it's very, very, very cool. So if you watch this video, you go, wow, that's the coolest angle we've ever seen.
Purely because of the tripod.
It's totally the tripod. It's totally tripod. So Fiona is from Scotland.
I am indeed. Scotland.
She's from Scotland. And tell us, how long have you been traveling?
11 months now. 11 long months. But it's been great.
11 months. A girl alone? Isn't that scary to be a woman traveling alone?
It's kind of liberating actually. Just being able to do what I want and when I want, and no, it's been a really great experience. Really great.
Wow. Okay, I'm convinced. I think you're the 10th woman I've seen traveling alone. And at first I thought, this is terrifying. I'll never travel alone. And now I can't wait to get rid of my kids and get rid of Kobi. We've already planned it out actually, that the next time we go traveling, Kobi and I are going to go, and the kids will be after army, and that we're going to separate while we travel, and we're going to like go our separate ways for 2 or 3 months, and then like see what it's like.
Yeah, no, that's a really great idea. So you meet so many people as well. When you're alone, I think that you meet more people than if you're actually with somebody, because people tend to pick up on the fact that you're on your own. And they just look out for you, and all travellers look out for each other. And I've also found that a lot of locals make a lot more time for you, and I've been told certainly around Asia that they worry about like women on their own, so they want to help you and look out for you.
You've already told me like in the last 2 days of all these amazing adventures of like you got stuck in the rain today in the mountains and a motorcycle that she rented, and this local lady told you what happened.
Well, she couldn't even speak English, but she was just like, she saw me coming along on my little moped, and she was like waving at me to come in. So I just pulled up in my wee moped and went in, and she sat me down, and her and her whole family are trying to have a conversation with me. Got no idea what they're saying, but they've got me out the rain, and we're just having a bit of a chat for a little while until the rain stopped, and then off I went again.
Did you say kapunka?
Kapunka? Yes.
Yeah, kapunka, kapunka. And then you also said that like the other day you met this guy on the bridge?
Yeah, well, it was the guy, I was just taking a wander up the street, and then there was this guy who rents out bikes and motorbikes and stuff, and he's just like, oh, come in out into the shade, and he gave me like a bottle of water because it was really hot, and then we just got chatting, and then he's like, you know what, I really can't be bothered working today. Well, do you want to just go on a trip in my little tuk-tuk taxi? She's like, okay.
You're like, this is probably, you told me it. She's like, this is probably a really bad idea. Let's go.
Exactly. So off I went in his wee tuk-tuk, listening to Bob Marley, going down the street to Kanchanaburi. And he took me right down into this far remote bit on the other side of the river, and we ended up getting these paddle boats. We went up the river in a paddle boat, and then just got like fruit smoothies, and and then he just took me up to the bridge over the River Kwai, and he's like, oh, you alright? Or I'll wait here for you. And I was like, no, don't worry, I'll just wander around here. And then you know how many times while we travel, like we meet random strangers that help us, and Kobi and I always look at each other and we're like, well, if he doesn't murder us, it should be nice, you know. Exactly.
If we don't end up dead, it should be, it should be pleasant.
I know. I think as much as you've got to be aware of the fact that, you've got to look after yourself and be safe, I think you've also got to have that kind of faith that people are, generally good.
Yeah. And I think we're lucky also. Like, we're also very free-spirited travelers, and we've done all these adventures that if you told someone, they'd be like, are you fucking insane? You did what? Yeah. I mean, but I think we're just lucky because we've also ended up just meeting really nice people.
Yeah.
Really remarkable people that have gone far out of their way to help us, and that's the things we remember most. Yeah. The random people that saved us in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. They are the people that stay with you. Definitely.
Absolutely. Even if you can't speak a word with them.
Yeah. Exactly.
Wow. So, Fiona, you have been traveling for 11 months now?
Yes, 11 months.
Wow. What would you say? First of all, one thing that people always tell me is, if you're traveling the world, you must be rich. And clearly, you're filthy rich. She's got perfume. She's rich. Look, how many people
see.
If I was a girly girl, I would have Daisy and Malk Jacobs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have perfume.
Yes, I do.
So hold on. So you must be rich. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah, I'm so rich. I own 10 mansions all around, the world. I have a couple of palaces in there too. Yeah.
You need any money? She's the one. She'll probably send you a bottle of perfume.
Dripping gold around the edges.
Because she's rich.
Of
So
course.
you're not rich and you're traveling the world. How does that happen?
Yeah. You just kind of, I don't know, you make it up as you go along. I certainly know in Australia, like you can, as you travel, you can get all your accommodation and food for free if you just do a couple of hours work each day at youth hostels. They're just like, yeah, we'll give you free accommodation and.
Wait. So you go to youth hostel and you say, I want to work to stay here for free?
Yep.
And what do you do? What kind of
Help
work?
clean the rooms or work behind the bar if they've got a bar or just whatever. Just help them out around the place.
And you get to stay for free?
Yep.
No way! Is this only in Australia or all over the world?
I don't know, I think all over the world probably, but I know in Australia it's pretty much the way that people travel is how to get around. And then because I'm a nurse as well back home, it makes it a lot easier for travelling because nurses are kind of needed everywhere.
So you've actually worked as a nurse to get free accommodations?
I worked as a nurse in the outback nursing Aboriginals in Australia, and I did that for about 3 or 4 months. And yeah, I got accommodation in the hospital and stuff for them.
Yeah, get to sleep in a hospital bed for free.
I got my own bed set there. It was awesome. It was great. And it had a swimming pool and a gym and everything.
No way!
Yeah, it was great.
It's a tough life the traveler's life, right? Yeah. It's tough. So what would you say are some of the things you've learned on the road? You've been on the road for, your trip is almost over.
Yeah.
So almost 11 months now.
Yeah.
What have you learned traveling the world?
To be honest, I think the most important thing I've learned about myself is that I don't need, I know I've got perfume, but apart from the perfume, I definitely don't need all the things that I used to think I needed. Like, I lived in the city, and although I'm from a very small island, I was brought up in an island. I've been in the city for the last 9 years, but I just realised it's not for me anymore, and I just prefer the more basic things in life, and I've definitely come to appreciate probably family even more. Although I've always been close to my family, when I go back I just want to live a lot closer to them because I'm about 3 hours away at the moment, and I just think there's so much more important things in life than shopping and stuff. And although I still love all those things, I definitely appreciate, I have more value in probably the more basic things, which I think is really important.
Wow, what a great life lesson. Like, if that's all you've learned in a year, like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
But you've learned so much more. You've learned about people, and I mean, you've been to so many lands that you've never been in before, right?
Just being aware of very different cultures as well. Like, even in Australia, for being such a Western country, I never would have expected for, like, the Northern Territory where I was in the outback to be as different. Like, there was, you've got the black fella bar and the white fella bar, the black fella supermarket and the white fella supermarket, and it's still a lot of segregation there. And it's something that I never would have thought you would experience in a Western country.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, it's definitely opened my eyes up a lot more.
Wow. And then what happens, like, in that area of the country if people were to intermarry? Is that like a big no-no? Is it?
It just doesn't really happen, to be honest, because the Aboriginals up in the Northern Territory, they've got their own laws, their own rules, their own values, and they don't generally want to be,
the whites.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they've got their own cultures, and they don't want that ruined by the Westerners coming in.
The white tainted blood.
Yes, exactly.
So where have you been? You've been in Australia for...
I did Australia for about 10 months. So I've been there the majority of the time.
Wow.
And I've done a lot of Australia. But I've spent most of my time, I would say, at least over half of that by a mile in the outback.
Wow.
And then I've just done Singapore, and then I went all around Malaysia, and now Thailand. So Cambodia next, and then home.
Oh my god. Wow. What would you say, and this you might have kind of already answered it, but now that you've had a year almost, or more actually, because you had the 10 months, and then another 11 months.
Oh no, it'll be just over a year, I think, in total.
Total.
Yeah.
Total. So now that you've had all this time on your own,
Mm-hmm.
what have you discovered is like the secret of life, or what is the secret of being happy? You've had a lot of time alone.
Yeah, I think I really don't know. I think it's just all about appreciating your friends and family.
Wow.
And appreciating people. Yeah, and just making a lot more time for people rather than just, doing things for yourself. You really want to make there a point for you being here, so doing more to help other people as well, I think. I don't know, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, if anyone wants to write to you or ask you a question or whatever, is there a way that they can contact you if
Yes,
they want to? Yeah,
by all means. I've got email for Fee, which is just fi.pocket, which is my last name.
Really? What a great last name.
But it's got 2 T's, not 1.
Okay, so F-I. Okay. F-I.
Dot
Pocket.
with 2 T's.
Pocket like in your pants, but with 2 T's.
Yep. At gmail.com.
At gmail.com. I'll put the address here if I remember to get all technical. See right here. Here we go. Thank you very much.
Not a problem.
Wow.
Not a problem.
How exciting. Now we have a friend from Scotland. Yay!
Exactly.
How fun. Oh my god.